Yair Lapid says Israel remains committed to a two-state solution. The Prime Minister is expected to tell the United Nations General Assembly in his first ever address to that global body on Thursday that separating from the Palestinians has to be part of the nation's vision. Reaction has been swift across the political spectrum, and that's even before the speech. Our correspondent Guy Azriel is in studio with more. So Guy, these are bold comments coming from the interim leader ahead of an election in November. Is it wise? What is the reaction like so far?
Yeah, Benita, an absolutely bombshell announcement this evening from Lapid 24 hours before his speech at the UN. Highly controversial in the political climate today in Israel. And of course, we are less than 2 months into the next elections on November 1st. So that is a very bold move from Lapid. Lapid, who has for years positioned himself at the center of Israel's political system, seems like today he's taking a swift move to the left with this statement. And I got to tell you, the reactions to this statement just over an hour since this came out from the Prime Minister's office have been swift. We've seen so many reactions coming in. We'll start with the Likud party, Netanyahu's party, saying after Lapid established the first Israeli-Palestinian government, now he wants to establish a Palestinian state on our borders and give up homelands to our enemies. But more interesting are the reactions from within Lapid's government. We're hearing from Justice Minister Gideon Saar establishing a terror state in Judea and Samaria will endanger the safety of the people of Israel. Interior Minister Ayelet Shaked says the interim Prime Minister does not have legitimacy to complicate Israel with statements that will cause damage. And above all, the Lapid's partner to the government, former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, says there's no room or logic to float the idea of the Palestinian state. Empty slogans like two states should remain in the 90s. We're also seeing support messages from the left-wing Meretz parties saying we congratulate the Prime Minister of Lapid. Millions of Israelis and Palestinians are waiting for a political horizon that will put an end to the bloodshed. And Benita, before I finish, I want to read a statement from 2016. The statement says the following: I have not given up on peace. I remain committed to the vision of peace based on two states for two people. President Abbas, I invite you to speak to the Israeli people at the Knesset in Jerusalem, and I would gladly come to speak at the Palestinian parliament in Ramallah. Do you know who said this back in 2016? No other than Benjamin Netanyahu on the same stage at the UN General Assembly. Just shows you how quickly the political reality in Israel changes, how legitimate that was back in 2016, how illegitimate is it these days for most of the Israeli voters, and how Lapid is getting a lot of fire right now. We'll see how that would impact him in the polls coming into the elections.